I don't feel attracted to him anymore. So this is what you have to understand. Never under any circumstances ever tell a woman how you feel about her ever. Never say, I'm in love with you. Never say any of this stuff, okay? Never do this ever, because here's what I can tell you. Most people, okay, this is like the worst narrative that you're going to get, okay? The worst narrative you're going to get is, she'll appreciate it. This is not true. But let's go even deeper, right? Let's say you're a little bit aware of how dating works. There's a lot of people that will say, oh, if you tell a woman your feelings towards her, she will use it against you. This is what they'll say. And she'll use it as leverage verbally. Or people will say it gives her the leverage, okay? Or people will say she's going to look at it as weakness, or she's going to think that you're weak. Now, in my opinion, this is not completely true, okay? Here's what will actually happen. Eventually, she will just stop responding to you, and then you will never hear from her ever again, and then she'll just ghost you. And this could be a woman that you've been seeing for 1 month or 1 year, or sometimes, let's say you're dating for a long-term relationship, or you're even married. This could even be multiple years. Eventually, they'll just withdraw interest. So in a long-term relationship, what will happen is...
Hey guys, welcome to Dark Arts Podcast. This is where we help you guys decipher through the manipulation and the bullcrap in dating world. Can I be honest with you? Listen, Casey, I appreciate the work. And there is actually some parts I actually agree with what he's saying, right? For instance, SMV, sexual market value place, right? Sexual market value. Absolutely, there is some truth to that, right? But the brother just told you that if you want to tell a woman that you love her, don't do it. Don't ever tell a woman that you like, or that you're even in love with, or even the wife that you're with, don't tell her you love her. Now, tell me how this is going to actually help you build a healthy, sustainable relationship. See, is this kind of advice that actually prevents you from being in a healthy relationship and keeps you single, right? And keeps you dependent on Casey. No offense to him, just want to be very real with him. I actually like Casey's work. Some of the stuff that he says is very, very powerful and very, very true. But this is nonsense. And it's nonsense because it lacks the nuance and the experience to really give a well-rounded response to this situation. If you want to be in a healthy, sustainable relationship, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to need to know what love actually looks like and what it actually is. And this is why I look at it from a biblical perspective, right? That love is kind, love is pure, love is enduring, love doesn't count no wrongs, okay? Love doesn't boast, okay? It's not easily angered. Okay, all right. And so when you look at what love is described as, right, that's how we end up making relationships work. Now, of course, there are other things in the schematics that enable a relationship to work. But if he's telling you never to tell your partner that you ever love them, then what kind of relationship are you actually building? Well, a relationship based on games, a relationship based on invulnerability. And the problem with that is it doesn't last long. The very thing he's telling you is going to cause you to exit that relationship quickly. The very thing he's telling you is actually not going to build a healthy relationship. It might get you laid. If that's what you want, if you only want to get laid, then my friend, go ahead, right? That's what you're going for. But you're going to be lonely, sleeping in your bed alone with the covers tight up to you, all right, crying in your bed every night. The reality of the situation is this is a fear-mongering based type of approach to dating, which doesn't lead to sustainable, healthy, long-term results. Okay? Love is an essential component to relationships. Now, do I agree with him saying that a woman's SMV, which he talks about, and we're going to play a little clip so you guys can actually watch it. Let's go slightly back, because you know what? I like to put people in context before I talk about it.
Maybe you want to use the word variation, okay? A variation between both people's SMV. It doesn't matter what word you use. This is the point that I'm trying to get across, okay? I'm trying really hard to do this. So with hypergamy, the second that she feels her SMV is higher, she will just quit talking to you. So you can try to do all these things that you want. You can try to text message her and say, hey, what's going on? You can say, hey, what's wrong? Did I do something? You can try to have a phone call. You can try to talk through it, whatever. The fact is that she thinks that she has higher dating value than you. So because of that, she's just going to quit talking to you.
Now, let me pause it right there. There is some truth to what he's saying. When a woman believes that she is in a higher sexual market value than you as a man, yes, there is some truth to that. When you first start dating, yes, and even when you are dating, sometimes it can come back and bite you in the arse. He's not lying about that. If he stays on that particular point, I can actually rock with him, right? Because I believe in the dynamics between men and women. Women are hypergamous in most cases, right? So they like to date up. They like a man who's either smarter, more quicker, faster, has more money, more secure, more wealth, more power. Yes, they like a man like that. And sometimes it's balanced out. where both of you have the same kind of sexual market value, and it's actually right, it works its way out. But I do agree, there are some aspects where when a woman believes that she is better than you, okay, and you know it, and you show it that she's better than you, yes, you're liable to end up in a situation where you can get played. That is very true. I do believe in that part. So let's build that bridge with Casey here, because there's some truth in what he's saying here.
There's not going to be like a true conversation where the woman will tell you this, but I will, because even if this hurts your feelings, you need to understand this so that way you don't spend the next 20 years of your life trying to achieve something that doesn't actually exist. So now let's move on to this column, okay? As a man, your SMV is not based on just how you look or how...
Now I want to pause it here because you might not know the context. The context I say you might not find what you want. What he actually said was there's no such thing as mutual love, and that most people don't find mutual love. And I would say this for you: if you're finding yourself in relationships where you feel like either you loved her too much or she loved you too much, here's what you need to do: stop entering in relationships and work on yourself. The reality of the situation is, if you love a girl way too much, more than likely, okay, there's some healing that you need to do. What's the healing? The healing that you need to do is to stop being a savior. The savior is born out of ego, but it's also born out of you wanting to be above the builder because you're looking for somebody who can praise you, adorn you, and love on you because you saved them. And that is an indication of a wound of you not being appreciated, acknowledged, and affirmed as a child. Okay, that's what it is. And so what you look for is somebody who will affirm you, acknowledge you, and adorn you, right? And that looks like worship. You're looking for that woman that's going to worship you. But the problem with that is whenever anybody worships you, somebody who worships you, they always end up being a sacrifice, right? And in this case, a relationship will be sacrificed because nobody can worship you as a human being for long. You're an idol to them, right? And idols always ask for sacrifice. And the person's never going to be able to fulfill that role. The flip result is also the same. If you find yourself in a position where that woman doesn't, that woman loves you more than you love her, what you're going to find is she's annoying. You're going to find her being annoying, frustrating, and she's going to be on your nerves. And more than likely, it's because there is a lack of attraction there, and you are there because you don't feel you can get better. And actually, that's an insecurity. You don't feel you can do better. You don't have a good emotional safety to understand that I have a more greater value. So you've chosen somebody who loves you, okay, all right, who loves you and adores you, right? Or flip revolt, where and she loves you way too much, right? Or you love her too much. Let's say you love, I think I'll confuse the two, which is that you love her too much, right? If you love her too much, the reality of the situation is, right, you need to increase your value. You need to also look at you and go, actually, hold on a minute. Am I putting you on a pedestal because I have not achieved what I need to achieve in life? The reason why is because when you look at you, you don't believe you bring much to the table. Well, if that's the case, you probably need to do a bit more work on you emotionally, mentally, and financially, so you can get to the level that you want to be at. Because in reality is when you reach your level, you're going to dump her. And so what I would say is this: men who are not in relationships with mutual love, with a woman that they mutually love, that you find attractive and can love, it's because you are settling. And you need to stop settling, and you need to wait for the right kind of person. We tell women to wait for the right man. You need to wait for the right woman. Because you can't choose very well. You got poor discernment and poor judgment. That's not because women are bad. That's not because there's modern women in the world. There's modern man in the world. Okay? All right? You need to avoid them. Okay? There's robbers in the world. Did they rob every single house? No, you put security in place. Right? Discern and make good judgments. But let's listen to what he's saying.
How much money you make, or how tall you are, or how high your status or popularity is. A lot of times when you start dating a woman, it's more so based on your body language and your interest level. This is what determines to her how high your dating value is. So this is why women will routinely say that they don't like nice guys. It's because those personality traits make her feel like she can do better.
Now let's pause it right there. He's absolutely true about this, but he's adding a little bit of nuance and a little nuance here. The reason why women don't like nice guys is because they're not being truly them. They're not being authentic. It's got nothing to do with body language. You're not being authentic. If you are a nice guy, nice guys don't hold very good boundaries. They are yes men, okay? So they're not being true, and usually they are emotionally unregulated. They get frustrated, they get sensitive, They get hurt easy. They do stupid stuff out of their emotions, which emotions aren't bad, but when you react out of your emotions and are not regulated, you cause carnage. So women don't like nice guys because they don't hold very good boundaries. Your yes is everything. Baby, can you have this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. And that's what nice guys are. They are yes men. If you find yourself in a position where you say, I'm a nice guy and girls take advantage of me, it's because you don't hold good boundaries. You don't know how to say no. You're afraid to say no because you'll lose that girl. That's why she's treating you the way she is. Nothing to do with body language. It's your inability to say no.
She tells herself, well, he's probably just being this nice because he has to be. So this is why a lot of times lust as a man is your enemy, because what it's actually doing is it's overtly revealing your interest level and your attraction towards her. So if you as a man try to...
Now let me be very honest with you. Yeah, lust is never. Let me tell you this now, okay? Lust, he's absolutely right, will show you out the door, right? But it is the way that you utilize lust, okay? Because some of us have used lust, and I've played the game myself, so I know, okay? This is me telling you, okay? Some of us have played the game and used lust, and it's worked in our favor. Here's why it works in our favor, right? Because in reality, when we are lusting, we're willing to also say, I don't need you either. Right? I'm not desperate, because the key part of this all is desperation. To the hungry man, everything bitter tastes sweet. And to the person who's watching the hungry man, you can tell because he's in the bins right now. Right? You can tell when someone's desperate because they take anything you're willing to give them. And that is an unattractive trait to any woman, because it's like, well, if I can give you anything, you'll have it. Then that means any other woman can give you anything, you'll go for it. And that means I'm not safe, because you will I'll be trampled upon. Right? So you need to understand that, yes, lust can get you in trouble. Lust is not necessarily a bad thing in all cases, but the reality is how do you utilize it, right? The woman's not saying no to you because you're lustful. She's saying no to you because you're desperate. And she can sense the desperation.
Kiss a lot of times, like if you're dating a woman and you're always trying to kiss, or you're initiating a lot of touch, and that touch can be anything, hand holding, anything that signals attraction. Okay, or maybe you're...
So basically, get involved with women in a relationship and don't show them any interest at all. Don't show them you're attracted to them at all. Do you see how this is sounding? Do you see how it's sounding? Look, you are playing a game that's going to be very dangerous. Because what you're really going to do is you want to stoke this woman in a particular way. We're going to neg her. That's what you're really talking about. It's manipulation. Okay, all right? You want to show her no interest, no attraction. Listen, what girl do you like that you don't want to kiss her? What girl do you not like that you don't want to hold her hand and be intimate with? See, what he's really talking about is intimacy issues. And the women that actually respond to this kind of behavior have got intimacy issues. They are usually avoidant attachment. If you ever read the book, read Attachment Styles by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, they're psychologists, and they talk about attachment styles, the four of them. And the three of them, there are three insecure attachments: anxious, fearful, avoidant, and dismissive. And then there's a secure attachment. Secure women don't do this stuff that he's talking about. Secure women will not respond. The woman that's secure is not responding to the game because she understands her value and her worth. The insecure woman is the one that he's talking about. The toxic woman, dysfunctional woman, is the one he's talking about. The one that doesn't know their worth and is used to playing games. The one that wants to use passive-aggressive techniques to draw a man in and manipulate him to become round to her way of thinking. These type of women don't make good long-term partners. That is why you shouldn't be playing this game, because all that game is going to do is attract that kind of woman. If this woman responds to you not kissing her, you not telling her you love her, you say you not holding her hands, you not showing her affection, what kind of woman have you got? No. What kind of woman have you got? How long can that relationship last? Think about it. A healthy woman that doesn't want to kiss you, hold your hand, be in your presence, feel attracted, know that her partner is attracted to her. You're going to die lonely and old, like Kevin Samuel said, man.
You're initiating intimacy often, okay? And let's say you're overall just very attracted to her. She thinks that you have lower value dating-wise than she does, or she thinks that you have lower dating value than she does, and she will leave you. So this is how it works. I'm trying to tell you this because if you make these mistakes, you have to understand it doesn't...
So the problem here is that, again, it's not underscored with the actual thing. It's desperation that's the problem. If you want to kiss her and she likes you and y'all have been dating, right? She gonna like kissing you. Okay? If she likes you and you like her, All right? And she's not scared of intimacy. She gonna want to hold your hand. She gonna want to cuddle. Okay? I don't know what kind of woman that you want to date, but I like to date women that are touchy-feely. I like the women that like to take compliments. I like the women that like to dress up. I like the women that tell me that I look good and I tell them they look good. I like the women that are able to have a conversation and a dialogue and be intellectual. I like women because they are beautiful people. And I like women that are healthy. But when I was in a certain place in my life, I liked unhealthy women because I myself was toxic. And so all he's breaking down is more toxic behaviors for you to do that are going to create more toxic women that you're going to attract.
It doesn't matter if you guys just met. It doesn't matter if this is a long-term girlfriend of multiple years. It doesn't matter if this is your wife.
So even if it's your wife, this is how you should behave. You shouldn't kiss her. You shouldn't kiss her too much. You shouldn't touch her too much. You shouldn't show her that you actually care about her, you like her. You shouldn't show that you're attracted to her because she's your wife and she needs to know that you're not too attracted to her so she knows her place. Look, let me tell you this now, okay? Desperation is what people do not like. It is your desperation.
As soon as you start making these mistakes, that signals that she has higher dating value than you, and you're the one in love. Hypergamy is not satisfied, and now she will leave you. So you really have to understand this because...
And what he's really talking about is a self-abandonment. Okay, this is another thing as well. A lot of things he's talking about is also self-abandonment. When a man abandons himself, what that means is this. When you stop taking care of yourself, when you stop focusing on your purpose in life, or your career, your goals, whatever, when you stop chasing that, when you stop, paying attention to her, when you stop doing the very things you did in the very beginning, right? Completely shut it off. You are abandoning who you were. And so now you're abandoning who you were. She's got a different person completely. No, you can get comfortable. Don't get twisted, you can get comfortable, but don't forget to do some things that you were doing before. Why can't you tell her you love her? Why can't you take her out to dates anymore? Why can't you spend time with her, right? But if you abandon all your drive and your focus that you really had, you're showing desperation.
A lot of these situations, when men and women date, once these breakups happen, there's a lot of unspoken things. Like people don't talk about this stuff or why this happened. At all. This is what you have to understand. Never under any circumstances ever tell a woman how you feel about her ever.
And that's where I'm going to end the video, because we're going to do a part 2. This video's gone long enough. I'm going to end the video here because it's taking too long. I want you to understand that this is potentially one of the worst male dating advices ever, because it does not reveal the fullness of the scope of advice that's needed. And so because it lacks that nuance, it's going to cause more carnage. I'll do a part 2 and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm going to read the comments in the comment section, some of them and what they said. And you can see that people are not being taught what's going to help them grow in a healthy relationship. This ain't it. Okay, this ain't it. And this is why we coach. So listen, I've got a few spots left because I've been coaching all the way up until November, December. I've got booked up already, but I've got a few spaces left in my emergency coaching spaces, right? Which costs more. I can't lie to you. But men, you need to get ahead of this, because there ain't no way this is what we're teaching people to how have a healthy relationship. How you gonna build a family on this particular advice? How are you gonna build a healthy long-term family? You ain't. But I appreciate you guys. Hey, yo. Much love, much appreciation. It's DarkArts.